Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome to Pandora Astrology's monthly horoscope for November of 2022. We are the astrologers of Pandora Astrology. I'm Jamie Kale Miller. I'm in Berkeley, California.
I'm Julia Mijas in Pioneer, California.
Well, Sag, if this is your sun sign, your birthday is coming up fast. You're already in your yearly mop-up period, which is 30 days before your birthday, even as this month begins. So you're already starting to feel your old year changing into your new one. Getting a birthday reading now positions you powerfully for your personal new year. You'll find links to help you get this in the text that comes with this video. Well, I want to begin by saying that Juno is no longer retrograde. It's now direct. Woot. So glad that is now over. It was a really difficult time period from July to late October that just took all human beings into a deep relationship retrospection period and may have left you with changes in your relationship that maybe you felt you had to make or your partner had to make. And it might have been really difficult, but it's over. Shoo, moving on now. The next thing I want to tell you about is that Ceres is traveling along through Virgo, is in your 10th house all month. Ceres has to do with food, body, and money, the things that connect us to the physical world. When Ceres is in the 10th house, you might feel like you have to work a little bit harder for the money that you make. You might feel like you have to work on your diet. You have to put in some more effort to really be in and own and occupy your own body and get comfortable in your own skin. This is a good month for doing that work. Last month was the same. Ceres will shift houses again in another month or so, but not right now. And so paying attention to and being a good steward of your income and your budget and so forth is so important to do this month. Last thing I want to tell you about is Jupiter. Jupiter starts the month retrograde here in the sign of Pisces in your 4th house, which is a wonderful place for Jupiter to be. It can make your home life so nice, so expanded. And if in the last year and a half you have wanted to look for a new place to live and find something really great, this Jupiter transit is your last best chance to do that before Jupiter moves on into Aries and beyond and doesn't come back to Pisces again for quite a few years. So if you want to benefit your home life, expand it, maybe find a new place, maybe get a better deal in terms of your rent, move in with somebody that you care about, this is a really great time to do it. Jupiter is going direct on November 23rd, and we'll see what that looks like. See, the little red RX symbol is going to go away, and boom, there it goes. When Jupiter goes direct, it's like luck is unleashed, ready to move forward and make that final choice about your housing situation and incept it and make it happen while the luck is live. Hey, Julia, I know you've got news about Mars retrograde. I think that's some pretty important stuff.
Oh my God, very, very important, Sagittarius, because it happens about once every 2 years. So way less often than Mercury retrogrades, which happen about 3 times a year. Now, Mars represents your energy, your drive. It's also a planet that can represent your anger too. And this Mars retrograde cycle is happening in your 7th house of partnership. It rules not just your romantic relationship, but any business partnerships you're a part of, as well as if you hire any consultants too, who are also ruled ruled by this house. So that can be doctors, lawyers, marketing consultants, etc. So Mars retrograde in this house, this can be a frustrating time in your relationship, especially if you guys are working on a project together, getting very sort of physically active. You might have to go back over some of the things that you've done. And if you find yourself blowing up at your partner, you might have to walk it back a lot there too. It can also be a frustrating time to work with a business partner as well. And you might need to get a second opinion in terms of contractors too now. So a little frustrating there. Now, Mercury, on the other hand, starts the month in your 12th house. This is a very isolated house. It represents ethereal places. So Mercury in the 12th is a time where you might have a very sort of vivid inner life. You may be vivid dream states. Maybe it's easier to connect to your sort of like to meditation and things of that nature, because this house has a very spiritual quality to it as well. And then on November 8th, Mercury is going to be directly conjoined the sun. We call that Greater Epiphany Day because it's a time of insights and revelations. So in the 12th house, this is a house that can have to do with self-sabotage. So you might have some insights about how you've been sabotaging yourself, which can be really helpful to learn how to sort of stop doing it as well. This is also a house of charity and service, basically trying to help others in need. So you could have insights in those areas of your life too. Then on November 17th, Mercury enters your first house. This is the house of self. And you're going to be a lot more outspoken for the second half of the month. You know, the first half, you might be a lot more internalized with your ideas and thoughts. Then the second half, you can find yourself being more outspoken, more articulate. It's a really good time for impressing people, making good first impressions with your mind as well. Then finally, Venus, the planet of art, beauty, and relationships, begins the month in your 12th house. You could be finding more joy, more pleasure in helping other people. Maybe you even donate to some things, even a bit anonymously, because it's the 12th house. Venus in the 12th can also be a time of if your partner is going through some kind of issue, or friends are going through some kind of difficulty, where you can really be there to help them out a lot, and that can make you guys a lot closer together. Then on November,
hey, Julia.
yes.
I'm wondering if Mercury and Venus together there in the 12th house could help with any artistic projects the Sages of the world might be working on.
They could be, especially if you really have to tap into your fantasy. If they're artistic projects, you know, not just practical creative projects, but ones that really, really tap into some kind of fantasy, or even spiritual artistic projects. I definitely think that there's something there with both of those planets in the 12th for the first half of the month. Yeah. And then on November 15th, Venus goes into your first house of self. And this is a really nice transit, especially if you're single, because Venus in the first house, along with Mercury, you know, you can be very well spoken, very articulate, and you're also extra charming. You know, this can be a transit where you get along really well with people socially, and a time where you're also looking a lot better. Venus in the first is a wonderful time to do anything to beautify your appearance too.
So true. There are two moons that I want to tell you about. The first one is happening on the 8th, and it's a full moon and lunar eclipse right here in Taurus in your 6th house. The moon is accompanied by Uranus and the North Node. It opposes the South Node, Sun, Mercury, and Venus, so a big pile of Scorpio planets there in the 12th house. And lunar eclipses tend to be times of high emotion. I mean, full moons do already anyway, and eclipse is built on a moon. And this one just has so much rebellion built right into it. There is so much rebellion and reactivity, and so there could be some real emotional outbursts. And because this lands in your 6th house, you have to be really careful that those emotional outbursts don't interfere with your work life and the flow and the rhythm of, you know, of workflow, of, like, you know, getting stuff done at work. There could be some very like shadowy, intense emotions that come up, and they could be yours, or they could be emotions coming from a coworker. And I do think that this moon can be balanced, and your mood can be righted and helped by getting enough sleep. these planets over here in the 12th house are calling you for you to spend more time in your dream life, in your imagination, to pull inward, to embrace solitude. And that is so important as a balancer for, being able to show up at work bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. So that can help you during that moon. So as the month goes on, we see a change in seasons, and we're going to see this gradual movement of the gathering of planets in the 12th house shifting on over to the first house. And the last one to arrive is the sun right there. And now what I love to say about the sun is that it's like sunlight. You want to shine the light of your high quality attention in whatever area the sun is, because it's there that things can thrive and flourish. And so the sun entering into the first house is effectively the beginning of your birthday month. It's the beginning of the sign Sagittarius. The sun will be here for 30 days. And it's just such a great time for attention on you, attention on yourself, attention on your actions, your behavior, your presentation, and being that shiny big personality that you are, and being okay with getting a little attention for that good stuff. So it's a great time to celebrate yourself. The month of Sagittarius, obviously. So then the next thing, or the last thing really, that I want to tell you about is the new moon in Sagittarius right here in your first house, because this moon has such a great mood. It's not an eclipse, thank goodness. By this point, eclipse season is over. And this particular moon is not only in Sagittarius, the most lighthearted and playful and uplifting of signs, but it also trines Jupiter, which is your planetary ruler. And so all of that Jupiterian bounce and joy and fun is just flowing from Jupiter straight out that moon and splatting on the world around you. So it's almost like saying that you're just radiating a lot of joy during this moon. And the trine to Pallas Athena brings in a note of wisdom and self-containment, which is great. And when you put it all together, we're calling this one the wisdom of foolish hope, because there is so much positivity and imagination in this moon that you can use it to hope for and reach for and aim, like the archer that you are, for something much bigger than you've ever had, than you've ever known before. And the better that you cope with the potential disappointment, because, your arrow is likely to fall short of the mark. But for that reason, you should aim even higher, so that when it does fall short, as it inevitably will, it will still land in a place that's absolutely wonderful. So this is a really great moon for planting seeds of hopes and dreams that may look impossible, but will lead somewhere great if they get fulfilled even at all. All right, well, that's the good stuff we have for you today, Sagittarius. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe to our channel, like and share this video with your favorite people. You can find out more about this month's moons and Mars retrograde especially on our monthly forecast page at our website, pandoraastrology.com. And on our website, you can also book a reading with us or take a class. And until next time, we'll see you around the cosmos. Bye-bye.
Bye.